4 boys broke into a grave and stole gold from a dead queen. A month later, the gold disappeared, and one by one, the boys began to die. 4 friends, George, Ben, Hamza and Kwame, all in their late teens, feared in their area. They were rude, stubborn, and had no respect for anyone. They smoked in uncompleted buildings, harassed younger kids, and stole from innocent people. George and Ben had just dropped out of school at 19. Hamza, 18 years old, came from a decent and respected Muslim home but chose the streets instead. And Kwame was just 17 and lived with his old and blind grandfather. One day they heard a rumor. A queen had been buried with gold, priceless gold. Ben smiled, suggesting that they should go for it. At first, the other boys refused, but greed has a voice. And after days of convincing, they finally agreed. They chose one quiet Sunday night for this operation. All dressed in black with their faces covered, they walked for miles to the cemetery. They found only one security guard present. Before the man could react, Hamza picked up a big stick and struck him hard on his head. He fell unconscious, and the boys kept on going. They found the queen's grave and started digging. They continued to dig until they hit the coffin. They forced it open, and the smell was unbearable. The body was still decaying, but the gold was real. They pulled everything off her body, necklace, rings and crown, and they ran back to Kwame's house. They burnt everything that they wore that night. They hid the digging equipment, hid the gold, and waited for a while. After 1 month, they returned to share the loot. But the gold was gone. Only the empty bag remained. That was when everything changed. After that night, nothing was ever the same again. George noticed it first. He began seeing a woman standing across the street from his house, always in the same spot, always standing still, always watching. At first, he thought it was just someone passing by. Then one night, he gathered courage and stepped closer. "Who are you?" he asked. The woman slowly raised her head. Her face was half rotten and her eyes hollow, and around her neck was the same gold necklace they stole. George screamed and ran. Ben was the boldest among them all. He laughed when George spoke about his experience. "Fear is for the weak," he said. One night, he woke up unable to move, sleep paralysis. He could feel something heavy and cold sitting on his chest. He struggled to breathe. Then slowly, something cold slid across his neck. They were like fingers wearing rings. When he finally broke free, he jumped up and lit a candle. And there on his chest were bruises shaped like fingers, with marks of rings pressed into his skin. Ben stopped laughing after that horrible experience. Hamza's case was worse. Coming from a religious home, he knew that something was deeply wrong. He began to hear voices during prayer. One evening, while his father led the family in prayer, he suddenly screamed and collapsed. His eyes rolled back, and in a voice that was not his own, he said, "Return what you stole, or all will fall." His parents were terrified. They took him to clerics, imams and spiritualists. But nothing worked, because the spirit was not just attached to him. It was connected to all 4 of them. George couldn't take it anymore. One night, he ran out of his house screaming, Take it back, take it back. I didn't want it. Ben forced us. Neighbors watched as he ran towards the road, looking back like something was chasing him. Then suddenly, he stopped, looking into space. Moments later, a speeding car hit him. He died instantly, but the driver swore that he wasn't alone. He saw a woman standing behind George. Ben became paranoid. He stopped eating and stopped sleeping. One night, he decided to go back to the cemetery alone, thinking, if I apologize, all this will stop. But he never returned home. The next morning, his body was found right outside the gates of the cemetery. Hamza's death was the most disturbing. One night, his family heard him laughing in his room, a deep and unnatural laugh. When they rushed in, they found him lifeless on the floor. He was already dead. Now only Kwame remained, the youngest and the most quiet among the group, the one who had the most to lose. The haunting became unbearable. Every night, he saw her sitting beside his blind grandfather, watching him and smiling. Sometimes, the old man would speak. Kwame, who is that woman always in our room? And Kwame would freeze because his grandfather was blind and was not supposed to see anything. That night, Kwame couldn't take it anymore. He ran back to the room where they had first hidden the gold, crying and begging. And there, he saw it, the gold. All of it was back, neatly arranged, shining as if it never left the grave. Return it properly, he heard a voice from his head. The next day, Kwame walked straight to the police station, crying and shaking. He confessed everything, the robbery, the attack, the deaths. At first, no one believed him until he took them to the hidden room and they saw the gold. Kwame was arrested, but from that day, the hunting stopped. No more voices, no more shadows, and no more nightmares. Just silence. Some say the queen forgave him. Others said she only wanted the truth revealed. But one thing everyone agreed on was this: some graves are not protected by humans, but something more spiritual, more powerful, and more dangerous. Some lessons from this story are that owing up to your mistakes can save you, even if it causes you punishment. The feeling of guilt can become your worst nightmare. And most importantly, the people you follow can either build you or destroy you. Hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Kindly like, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on the bell so you never miss what is inside the vault. Until next time, bye.